Hey, Neil,
Mm-hmm.
have you ever been on a job site where it is nearly impossible to get just one more cable into an existing conduit pathway or the equipment rack looks like a bowl of spaghetti? And now you've been tasked with not only adding video cabling, but audio and control as well?
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, or one of my favorites is an interior designer that decides that a glass top table is going to be aesthetically pleasing with little or no regard to how AV signals might get to the display. I know I'm not cutting any holes in this table.
Oh man, no kidding. And of course, what about all those huddle spaces that everybody's crazy about today? They might not even have dedicated systems in those areas, so how on earth are we going to get collaboration or display in those types of spaces? I'm Neil Weber. And by the way, that first voice you heard is most likely familiar to some of you. It's Melissa Dillman. She's our market development manager. And incidentally, our mailbag has overflowed with questions about Clay because he missed the last AV Meetup coffee break. And I can assure you that he's not filming a movie. He does not have an illness, and he's not in rehab. He is, as we said, he's just on special assignment with our CEO, Mr. Bill Mullen. Now, Clay and I will be coming to you from the NAB show next week, so you'll be able to confirm that Clay is not a hologram. So, if only, Melissa, we had a way to collaborate in these small spaces. If only.
If only. You know what? I have an idea. Let's ask Paul. Everyone welcome Paul Richards from PTZ Optics and HuddleCam to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Hey, we're the lucky ones, Paul. It's great to have you with us. And I'm also surprised that we were able to catch you before you took off for Las Vegas next week for the NAB show. Yeah, well, I figured you were packing crates and, practicing being dehydrated and all those things. But for now, the burning question is, what do you think about those scenarios we were just discussing, and how would we be able to solve these challenges?
Well, the huddle space is an extremely popular area of topic, and we just released a new product called the USB 2 Air, which is a wireless USB 2.0 extension system that has a 25-foot range, and it allows you to connect your Windows laptop or computer, maybe an Intel NUC behind a display, wirelessly to any other USB device, whether it's a speakerphone or a webcam or a touchscreen or an interactive projector.
So now you're telling us that we can move signals wirelessly. That's got to require some bandwidth. What can you tell me about that, Paul?
Well, it truly is a point-to-point wireless system that can go up to 25 feet, and it has a 30 megabits per second bandwidth link. So that means we can use it with multiple different devices. It's completely non-proprietary, so whether it's a Video 360 camera or a Revo Labs speakerphone, it will work. We just have to look at the bandwidth and make sure we're not going over 30 megabits per second. So most webcams are 1080p. So you can see here that 8 megabits per second is normally what we're going to see for 1080p, meaning we could probably do 2 or 3 webcams. So you just have to look at the bandwidth, and speakerphones are much less bandwidth than webcams. Touch screens and interactive projectors, they don't use actually a lot of bandwidth to do that, but you know that with a smart board or a projector or a touch screen, there's usually a USB cable that needs to go back to the computer to provide interactivity. It's low bandwidth, but we just need to keep our eye on this chart and make sure we don't go over 30 megabits per second.
Oh, that's really impressive. This is really an incredibly useful tool for those really challenging rooms. One thing, though, given all the things it can do, I'm sure it must be prohibitively expensive.
Well, one of the things you'll learn about HuddleCam HD is we really try to provide a good value for our products. In 2015, we came out with the world's first wireless USB 3.0 conference camera. In 2016, we introduced the industry's first wireless USB 2.0 speakerphone using 2.4 gigahertz wireless connectivity, and that product is only $299. So what we decided to do was take the wireless out of the HuddlePod Air and make it non-proprietary so it would work with Revo Labs, Clear One, the list kind of goes on, Logitech, Video 360, so many different USB-based devices that are working for web conferencing, GoToMeeting, WebEx, and Skype, and really solving a lot of problems, but most of these products are not yet wireless. So this is really the solution for that, and it is only $299.
Whoa. Most excellent. Glad we got that figured out. Thank you. This is an excellent opportunity for our listeners to help move signals in challenging environments or in mobile environments for those ad hoc type of meetings.
And you know, Neil, Paul and the teams at PTZ Optics and HuddleCam have some amazing videos on their website or their YouTube channel as well. Paul, can you tell us a little bit about what you guys offer there?
Yeah, so we really like to practice what we preach and use our products on a day-to-day, weekly basis. So we use our products to make marketing videos. We use our products to host webinars and live stream, and it's a really great way for us to kind of show people unique scenarios and workflows and different solutions and create videos all along the way using our products to do so. We post them all on YouTube and Facebook and a little bit of Twitter as well.
So you bring up an interesting topic in live streaming, and Paul, I think you know at my advanced age I have selective memory, but from what I can remember, in my day, live streaming involved huge studio cameras on pedestals, expensive lighting and equipment. How has all that changed today?
Well, it's quite interesting. So for those people out there in the broadcast industry who've invested a lot of money into a broadcast studio, and they have spent a lot of money, now they have to kind of rethink what they've done and try to make it more applicable and more relevant to today's social media live streaming where the audiences really are. But for those of you that are just getting started or maybe have a conference room that you'd like to retrofit to be able to add these capabilities of live streaming and webinars and video conferencing, what we're finding is that people can start off with much lower budgets. The entry-level HuddleCam HD camera is only $399. So with a budget of just less than $500 or $1,000, you can get started. And now what we're finding is that almost anyone can afford to get started, and then slowly as they see the value of live streaming and hosting webinars and creating videos, as they make more sales and their boss is more and more impressed with the amount of leads that are coming in from the video generation, that what they find out is that they can incrementally make upgrades. So whether that's lighting or extra microphones or a second camera or a joystick controller, we're seeing that people are incrementally upgrading their studios as the value of using video. And I actually read a statistic a couple days ago, 70% of the internet is video. So it's something that people really want to be a part of, and as they see the value, they invest more and more into the spaces that they're live streaming and creating videos with.
Yeah, that's a lot of very cool gear, and it's far less expensive today than it used to be. This seems to be to create a lot of new opportunities. So if it's easy to use and it's not that expensive to set up, I guess my next question would be, who's using it and what are they using it for?
Sure. So it is used in almost every vertical, as you could imagine, with video occupying 70% of the entire internet. One of my favorite examples in the corporate space is Apple. Every year, Apple unveils basically a new iPhone or maybe a new product. Google does the same thing, and they spend thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars on video production and broadcast, but it's worth it to them to build up that anticipation for the product release and have all the articles being written and just generating all of that demand. Well, now you can do something like that as a small business, as a medium-sized business. You can build a studio for under a couple $1,000s and put together a product reveal or a webinar or an update and really get close interaction and audience engagement with your customers and your potential customers using live streaming. So in the corporate space, there's so many possibilities in sales and marketing. One of the interesting spaces is the house of worship space. We've seen so many churches start to live stream their services, their Sunday services, perhaps maybe weddings, memorial services, different things. And the reason why they're doing this is because they want to reach out to build their congregation and show that they're progressive and thinking about the future. And one of the big shows that I know Starren goes to and we go to, the WFX show, was in Louisville, Kentucky last year. This year it'll be in Dallas, and I got to speak to some of the churches that are live streaming. And they said one of the largest demographics that is not showing up to church that they want to bring in is actually the younger generations. And so not only is it a great way for them to reach the younger generations, it's also a great way for them to stay in touch with people who may have moved away from the community but still feel connected and want to be able to watch a Sunday service. Or those moms and dads who have to take their children on a travel game but still want to stay connected to the church community. And online donations are up at a tremendous levels, so it's still a great revenue generation for the church organizations, and that's why they're investing so much in live streaming. I could go on and on about healthcare, education, live streaming graduations every year. We had a school, and I'll end with this last example. We had a university that would live stream the graduation and then produce a wonderfully produced recording right there, right at the end of the graduation, and instantaneously actually burn the recordings onto USB sticks that they would sell for $20 each to the parents that were leaving and the grandparents that wanted to take that home with them. And it becomes a revenue generation for the university.
I'm tearing up already at the sentimentalness of it all, and also the opportunities. And I think there's a lot of opportunities that you just rattled off that not all of our listeners have even thought about sharing with their customers. So I think this has been great. Not to shift gears, but one of the things we get asked about all the time is auto-tracking cameras. So can you explain a little bit more about tracking and why it's important?
Yeah, so just stepping back from that question, the reason why PTZ cameras in general are so important is because you can have 2 or 3 cameras and have a single camera operator. They could be hundreds of feet away, and you can get multiple different angles. So even if you just have one pan tilt zoom camera, you can get hundreds of different angles. And so you no longer need to hire a camera operator to operate each camera. You can have a single person operating multiple cameras, and the whole production and broadcast solution becomes much less expensive from a manpower standpoint. The auto-tracking cameras is kind of the holy grail of that thought process. What if we don't even need to have a single camera operator? What if we can have the camera move itself and track a single person? This is really popular in the education space, where they want to record lectures so that they can have it available on their learning management system, whether they're using Blackboard or Moodle or Kaltura or any of the learning management video recording systems, so that those lectures can be recorded and archived and saved, and they become very valuable, especially for online education platforms. So what this camera allows you to do, it actually is a 2-camera system. It's called the HuddleCam Simple Track. And the bottom camera is a wide-angle camera that captures the entire room. And it actually is the intelligence that tells the top camera, which is a powerful 1080p, 60 frames per second, crystal clear 20x optical zoom camera that can zoom in and follow a participant. And we've done a lot to really make this software management platform easy to use and extremely advanced. For example, you have control over sensitivity, the pan speed, the tilt speed. You can also set up blocking zones. So in an education standpoint, you could block a doorway. So if someone walks into a doorway, that motion won't be sensed. It also falls back to facial tracking. If the teacher walks in front of a projector or a television or an area with motion, it'll actually fall back to facial tracking. And it's extremely reliable. You're looking at 2 different mounting scenarios there. There's a ceiling mount and there's a tripod mount. There's a wall mount coming soon. And it's been extremely popular. And one of the great things about HuddleCam is that we make everything USB. So this can plug directly into any computer and use it for Skype, use it for GoToMeeting, use it for WebEx, or use it for your learning management system like Blackboard, Moodle, or Kaltura.
You know, Paul, I've had a chance to play with one of these cameras, and it is truly impressive. The way it functions and the smoothness with the way that it operates was really cool. So with the popularity of streaming media growing, and we see that it has an impact in places like social media, where do you think we're heading in the future with regards to streaming media?
Well, clearly the need for pan tilt zoom cameras is the ability to add video production and allow people to zoom in and get a good view And one of the main things, especially with live streaming, when you might be in front of 100 people, you might be in front of 1,000 people, and you want to really get a personal connection with them and build a rapport. And maybe you're talking with them in the chat room and answering their questions. You want them to be able to see you clearly. You may want to be able to zoom into a product, or you might want to zoom out and reveal multiple people who are assisting you with your webinar or your live stream. So one of the things that we see in the future is obviously social media. So whether it's YouTube or Facebook, the numbers have just come in from Facebook. The engagement is incredible. They're leading the pack. Twitter's a little bit lower on engagement with their Periscope platform, but YouTube and Facebook are just gobbling up the eyeballs out there. So from a marketing standpoint, from a video creation standpoint, the ability to connect live with your audience and do these product reveals or graduations ceremonies have really opened up so many opportunities. And like I said earlier, with people kind of incrementally building their video production abilities, whether it's adding a joystick or another microphone or another camera, we really have a lot of solutions for people to build on a low budget, but end up with a really high quality video production system.
Yeah, I really like it. So it's my understanding that there's a show going on next week. And Paul, you and your gang, and Neil, you and your team are going to be traveling. Paul, can you tell us a little bit about NAB for those of us who have not had the opportunity to attend?
Yes, so NAB is the world's largest broadcast and live streaming show. And this year the numbers are in 103,000 attendees. This is really the place to go to see everybody in a one-stop shop, whether it's cameras, microphones, streaming solutions, all kinds of different vendors, and you really can feel the buzz and the growth in this industry. Facebook is going to have their own pavilion. Google has their own pavilion, and all of these social media people are now, filtering into the traditional broadcast space, and it's a crazy world, and it's so much fun. And I hope that anyone who's watching, if you're going to be at the show, we'd love to meet with you there.
They definitely need to come meet with you, and you may even actually run into Neil and Clyde there, right, Neil?
That's right. We're going to be there. In fact, I think we're going to be joining Paul on a live stream as well.
That'll be awesome. And I also understand that you're going to be doing some live streaming directly from the show floor. Is that right, Paul?
Yeah, one of the things we realized after talking to a lot of our customers is not everybody can take a week off from work and fly out to NAB show. But there's so much to learn and so much to see that we wanted to bring everyone along with us Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll be live streaming on our YouTube channel and taking you guys into the show floor, showing you the interviews, pictures, and videos from all of the latest and kind of coolest technology, gadgets, and news from the industry. There'll be a live giveaway, and we're going to have a really fun time bringing people in like Neil and Clay onto the live show and really getting to talk about some of these advanced workflows and really taking a step back and seeing what the industry is doing.
And it'll be like I'm there. And am I right? You're actually going to give away this very cool joystick control?
Yes, we're going to be giving away a free joystick controller every day of the show. And then finally, for a grand prize, we'll be giving away a Magewell frame grabber, which converts HDMI or HDSDI to USB 3.0 for video streaming.
That is really incredible. I'm sure Neil will want to enter.
Oh, yeah, man. You believe it. I will be there.
Hey, Neil, I'm here. I'm ready for the coffee break.
Dude, you're late. This is the end, man. What were you doing?
Oh, crap. I was working on my hologram.
Ah, very funny. Well, you missed everything. So, hey, let's give away a $50 gift card for one of our lucky partners who joined us here today. Congratulations to direct your attention to the chat box to see if your name is there, because you'll be the winner if it is your name. Thanks for joining us again at an AV Meetup Coffee Break. So please, tell all your friends and coworkers to join us in 2 weeks at the same time, because you might be a $50 gift card winner. Hey everybody, thanks for giving us your 20 minutes today to learn more about PTZ optics. Please remember to go to our new Synergy Center website to get all kinds of resource materials to help you with whatever kind of project you might be working on. And check back regularly because we're constantly adding to our library of videos, white papers, and timely articles on all things AV. Please join us again on Friday, May 5th for our next AV Meetup coffee break. And please, remember that you can go to our website and watch all of our AV Meetup sessions on demand. I've really been impressed with the number of people that have gone back and viewed these after the fact. We're in the hundreds and hundreds now of extra viewers. So thank you for creating and building our community. For more information, to set up a demo, or to dive deeper into any of our products with a personalized online workshop, please contact your Starin Business Development Manager directly, or you can always email us here at myteam@starin.biz. I really want to say thanks to Paul Richards from PTZ Optics HuddleCam for joining us today, and thanks also to Melissa Dillman, our Market Development Manager, for putting together such a terrific webinar. And as you can see here, she's always available for help. And if you need any application assistance, speaking of which, on any opportunity, whether it's PTZ Optics or what have you, we'd love to have you call us directly, and we'll set up a conference call so that we can be certain that your opportunity is fully functional and well supported. Our time is up. We do promise to address your questions and interest directly. It might be Clay or Melissa that calls or emails you with your answer. So we're going to see you again on Friday, May 5th for our next AV Meetup coffee break. Have a great weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, I guess you can say bye, everybody, now that you finally made it in.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us, and it's good to hear from you, Clay. I'm looking forward to seeing your hologram.